Welcome to Chicago Arts. In this interview, we caught up with Kathryn Bourne, writer and editor of Art Talk Chicago, one of the many new Chicago-centric blogs featured on ChicagoNow.com.
This is a story I've told a million times, but I think it's important, is that my brother was explaining the internet to me. I'm old, so I was, a teenager when the internet was really coming up. And I remember my brother explaining, he was explaining what a website was, and that every website could be a TV station, and every website could be a radio station, and every website could be a novel in terms of how much content and hold pictures. And I had this one thought. I thought, we're going to have so much of a channel to put everything out there artistically, and we're not going to have enough content creators. We're going to have this huge, this huge gap of that we're not going to have enough artists. This is what I consider myself. The first thing is that I'm a writer. I'm better at writing than anything else. I'm an arts writer is what I consider myself. I don't really consider myself an art critic. I'm just not good enough to be an art critic. And I'm a visual artist. So, and I make film too. I make a little film. Podcasts were bad at sports, then did Chicago Public Radio, then got picked up by Time Out, and did some stuff for Art Slant, and then, and then the Chicago Now thing happened. It's almost like if you imagine a scientist getting samples all over the city. Right now, I'm just trying to get huge samples of all the different types of art, everything from, what is the performance art scene in Chicago? I really don't know right now, but I'm sure by the time I'm done exploring it, I'll figure it out. We also made an interactive online Google map that has every single gallery we could find, and we came up with almost 300, which was huge. So we're also taking the map, and we're looking at the map, and looking at the south side and the west side and suburbs, and really trying to cover that. So it's almost like this huge, you really could get lost in a blog, because a blog is a long, linear thing, and so it's got to start to be organized. So that's what I'm kind of working with, is how can you have a big body of information that's really current and still have people organized, be able to really immediately find what they want. I'm talking about the writers with is that before we do a review, let's look at New City. Did they do it already? And if they did it, do we still want to do it? And if we do it, then let's make sure we do it differently. Let's do kind of a complete model and look at the whole Chicago media scene. But one thing that makes my thing a little different is that I really want extremely readable stuff. Really, really introductory, some of it to be very introductory level, at a level that I don't see in any of the art press. I mean, some of it they're going to hang me for, because it's going to be so, what do you do if you're standing in front of a picture and you don't know what to do? Some really how to get over your fear of going into a gallery. So that's going to kind of be my niche of some of this really, not all of it. I mean, like I said, with the internet, we could go so deep. And like I was saying before, we could have an academic section. We could have, some really intense think pieces. But like I said, if you have it organized and people can steer to their area, it could be some nice stuff about how to get started thinking about buying your first piece of art. Okay, well, the thing that I felt is that I was on so many discussion groups, and that question of what's the role of the press in making Chicago a world-class art city, that question kept getting asked, and people had these ideas, and I'm really at a point where I just want to give it a try. Instead of sitting here and talking about a bunch of people in a coffee shop about what we should do, let's test it. Let's just seriously sit down and make a plan and look at our plan and say, is it working? Okay, it's not working, it's working a little bit. What's working about it? Next step. And really be, I was just looking, there was a group called Praxis, and I looked up the word praxis, and it's theory into practice. And I'm like, I'm a theory into practice girl. Let's start writing, let's start putting it out there, let's put a big body of work out there, and let's see if we affect change.
To follow or find Art Talk Chicago, visit ChicagoNow.com. Be sure to catch Kathryn live on Chicago Arts Live Monday, June 29th at 7:30 p.m. on Ustream.tv. All pertinent links can be found in the info section of this video. Thank you for watching Chicago Arts. Be sure to join us for our next episode and stay informed by subscribing to our channel. We want to hear what you think, so please take a moment to comment on our programming. Thank you again from Chicago Arts.